What's up, motherfoxers? We're back at fixing the old Ecoboost. Well, I accumulated an expensive parts. Yeah, there's those aren't new, but they're refurbished. I'll explain. Alright, I got a whole tabletop of parts. You're looking at close to $2,000 right there. Yeah, I was gonna take mine and have them refurbished, but here's an interesting thing. The turbo place I went to, the guy let me in on a little insight. They won't sell him the parts to fix these because they want you to send the cores back to them so they can rebuild them and they can sell refurbished turbos. I probably would have paid half the price if he could have fixed them. He said he could have used Chinese parts, but he wasn't going to do that. He just doesn't do that. And then I had to get new manifolds. Now, here's the great thing that Ford did. They created these things with the intent of you having to bring it back to have it fixed. And here's why. This is the weakest part of this manifold because this is where the turbo hangs off of. They got 2 bolts. 8 in all. That's all of them. Mine weren't leaking, but they were about to start leaking, and you could see it on the gasket, and you could see it right on the back here, how corroded that is. They're gonna start leaking. There's 11 holes for these manifolds in the block. So there's this company called VD Diesel that makes these. And notice this. They put another bolt in there to make it stable. And right here as well. And right down here. So there's another 1, 2, 3 spots to make this thing more stable. And you can see how much bigger it is, so maybe it'll give me a little more oomph, I guess. But if we turn these over, take a look at the holes in them. Those kind of look bigger. Mm-hmm. But the back sides, this inside here is not. Look how deeper this is compared to that. These are made for this engine, so yeah, let's see. Like I said, there's one line on there, the coolant line, because there's 2 coolant lines that go to these turbos, besides the oil line, and that's this one here is the one that scares me on the driver's side. We're gonna leave it for now. I mean, it looks pretty rusty. I'll throw some fluid film on it. Keep it, as best we can. Hopefully it doesn't leak. But I didn't buy these because of that. I had to buy these because I couldn't get these, just buy these fittings, which go into there for the coolant line. These are those little snap rings. There's rings in them, and you just push these hoses into them, and that little clip grabs them. But you got to pull the clip out in order to pull this out. And this part, this is the line that looks scary in there, that I think I showed before. But this is on the back of the engine, and you got to pull that clip out. And the only place you can actually see it is underneath the truck, and it's quite a ways out of your way to try to be pulling that little ring out of there, that little snap ring out of there. I mean, this guy, when he ordered these, he said he would order the gasket kit, which I figured was the gasket for the oil, and this gasket here, okay, for the manifold. And he gave me these. Got a syringe because I guess you're supposed to prime the oil lines, and they come with a manifold gasket. Got our 11, got all our studs. These studs come with spacers for some reason. I think just because they're deeper here than the other ones. So that's why there's spacers. These ones just had nuts, but these ones have spacers and a nut. So that's what's all in this package here. 22 of them, 22 of everything. So when I can't buy just these fittings, and you have to buy those 2 things, they also give you this gasket. So whatever, I got plenty of gaskets, I guess. The turbos, when the turbos showed up, this is the most inconsistent thing I ever seen. This is how they got them out of the box. So this one was, I opened up a box and there was another box. And in that box was this molded, I don't know, this new thing they're doing where they're just molding the packaging to what's inside. That was a pain in the ass to get all these headers out of there, or the manifolds out of there. And when I opened it up, that's what I had. And I see 3 holes, but I don't have a plug for one because you're only using 2. I think you're using these 2 and this one gets plugged up. Then I open this one. It's just in the box and in the molding, not a box within a box. And then it's got plugs in all the holes. It came with a plug in the middle of it already. And I don't know what that is because these threads are way too big for my checkers that I got here, my bolt and nut checkers. So I said, hey, why don't I ask GPT? And typed it in there, and all the information I've been getting from there so far has been good, except for this one. They lied to me. These are too small. Whatever this is 12 by 1.5. No, it's not. It's way bigger than that. The turbo guy told me, hey, take off your flanges for your exhaust, and then I had to do that and then bring them back. This one comes with a flange. The great thing about these things, they are insanely expensive. 2 of these stupid things cost $26. And believe me, I tried to find them cheaper.
Alright, I got this thing all cleaned up here. Now I gotta start to get the studs in. I did chase what I could. I can't get that bottom front up there, which is a nightmare even to get it off. So they give you this, which is a install tool, which I think is utterly ridiculous. Why don't they do what Ford did and put I think it was like a 5mm socket hex end on the end of this stud. I mean, that worked perfectly when I was taking the studs out. I mean, I don't understand why they did this, but they tell you, well, you can't use this on that one because you got to do the double nut method because the condenser. So I mean, you reinvented the wheel here and you failed. You could have just put a hex end on the end of these studs because there's not. Look at that. So you're sticking the short end in there, and you're not even tightening these very tight, only like 8 foot-pounds or some shit. Stupid, man. Stupid. And I don't know if you can see right down there, that hole. The condenser is right there. So and the angle is at a point to where it's pointing down toward the condenser, so it's hard to get in there. So I couldn't even get the tap in there to tap it out, you know, to clean it out. But a lot of these holes, when I was cleaning them out, were pretty clean anyways. So even the ones that they weren't using, that's gonna be the first one I do. That's the first, they tell you to do that one first, but I want to do it because it's the hardest and I just want to get out. I just want to get it over with. I realized, okay, these must be lockers. And I'm like, that's not gonna work for a double nut method. But as I looked in the bag, they give you 2 to do this with. So that's cool. I just thought I'd point that out. All right, I don't know if you can see it, but I got the 2 in. That bottom jam nut method, man. I had to do it with a wrench, and I kept having to flip the wrench around, you know. Oh, jeez. Same thing with this. I use their tool, but at the same time, you're flipping a wrench around over in here. Now I think on the way down this way, I'll be able to use a socket on it, and then I'm doing this all left-handed. I'm right-handed, and so I'm a bit sloppy over here trying to do this shit with the left hand. But all right, you probably got a better view than me. All the studs are in, but I got the gasket here and the manifold, and I'll just fit it on there, see how we're doing. There you go, it's in there. I did 18 foot-pounds on 2 extensions, a swivel, and the socket. So who knows how accurate that is, but they say if you see one thread, you got them tight, and they look like that's where they're at. So apparently all of this mess worked. The other side's a little easier to get to. It's just, like I said, you got that, you can see back there, you got the condensers in the way of that bolt in the back, those 2 front ones. So, but we should be good to go now. All right, here we are on the driver's side. You can see there's a lot more access and everything's pretty much out of your way on this side. So I'm pretty excited about this side with all the space, and I get to use my right hand. That's what she said. There we go. We got all 11 of them suckers in there. Now for the manifold, but UFC's on, and it's late, and I'm going to watch it. And look at that, we got the other side on, and I had to replace the coolant line because the end pieces here were all jaggedy, so it wasn't too big of a deal. I mean, I had to undo the alternator power wire to get it out of the way to get in here, and that made me be able to get to these studs here a lot better. So, and I'm going to show you some fun we're having with the turbos. You can see the end there, that's what I was talking about. It was all deteriorated. So that one's easy to get to, so I figured I'd take that one off. The other one, on the other hand, looks like a nightmare, so I'm just gonna leave it. Hopefully it don't leak. If it does, we know how to take everything apart. Alright, so the fun we're having with the turbos is these things get these coolant fittings for the coolant hoses that have the little, you know, rings in them that you just push the hose in and they snap into place with an O-ring on them. Those things right there. Problem is we need this, okay? So here is a plug that came with this turbo, but not that one like I explained before. So we tried to pull this off to get it off to figure out what the thread count is on, because the two that I bought, ChatGPT lied to me. That's not right. We can't get that out, man. We tried to do it and it just twisted, so we're gonna leave it. So now we gotta figure out how to, what the hell that is. We don't even know. I don't even know where to begin. So it's different than these little fittings. I cleaned this one off. I mean, this one will go right in here, obviously, right? And they go in those holes too, but you try to put it in here and it will not go. So this is different for some reason. I have no idea. And see, you get a thread going and it stops. Good luck hunting that down at the store. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some kind of research here to see what I can do to figure this out. And my studs are in the mail somewhere, and I'm done for the weekend on this. Cleaned off the heat shield on that and on this, so those are all good. So now we wait, and I gotta get fittings for these here too. Which, when you get these, you gotta order the whole kit, which you'll get the lines too. So not a bad thing, I guess, in case something happens, but.